Yeah. All right. So anyway, my obeisances to you, Prabhuji, Panchakaplurvyasha, Kripa Sindhuvevacha, Patitanang Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Our prayers to Srila Prabhupada for his blessings, presence, and empowerment. Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna Pristaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamane. Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pricharne, Nirvishesha Sharnavari Paskacha, Deshitarne. So, you have an interesting question, which is really, I guess, an extension or further exploring
Mhm.
the authenticity.
Right.
And so I can say a few other things about authenticity. Um, Authenticity can mean, it's kind of it can be broad, how it applies to this and how it applies to
Mhm.
that. And what crossed my mind when I saw you were asking this question, one is individually that someone who's authentic
Mhm.
is someone who they're not trying to be someone that they aren't,
Mhm.
but they're expressing, acting out of who they really are, not afraid to even express their own weaknesses.
Mhm.
Um, I saw a really nice definition. Let me find that.
Mhm.
Um, that I like. Okay. Being authentic means living in alignment with your true self, your core values, beliefs, and emotions, rather than conforming to external pressures or social expectations. It involves self-awareness, honesty, and the courage to show your real personality, including vulnerabilities,
Mhm.
instead of pursuing perfection or pretending to be someone else.
Nice.
So I, I like that
Yeah.
definition,
Right.
and it's something I think in spiritual life that it's real important, especially for a leader,
Right.
to to be honest about where we're really at
Mhm.
and not try to be something we aren't.
Mhm.
And when I make it very clear that there's no way I could accept a disciple if we weren't in agreement that it's Prabhupada and I, because I
Right.
just can't do it on my own. It's not just that Prabhupada is, everyone's theoretically sees Prabhupada as uh, in his exalted position as a founder acharya.
Mhm.
But I like to particularly emphasize that um, he isn't just the founder acharya. He is, um, I'm depending upon him for everything, and that I really want my disciples to connect
Mhm.
with Prabhupada because I can't do it on my own. Um, I know my level of realizations, and I know my own weaknesses, and of course, sometimes we can even we can be inauthentic and not know it.
Mm.
Our mind can play tricks on us,
True.
where we think that we're more powerful or we're something greater than we really are. And sometimes we don't even know that. And we can fool anybody.
Right.
We can fool anyone. Besides our own self, we can pretty much fool anyone.
Mm.
And the only one that we can't fool is Krishna,
Right.
because Krishna knows our heart better than we know it,
True.
because we've got the mind acting and so on. So as a guru, I try to make it, really clear that the only potency I have is just coming from Prabhupada.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't feel ourselves connected to our guru, then we may be a great preacher and really know the philosophy and give great classes, but it's kind of like an what's the word, infantry person
Mm-hmm.
who has this really beautiful rifle
Mm-hmm.
and he really knows how to shoot it, but he's shooting blanks.
Right. Nice. Yeah.
And then, so if because I've seen it, I've seen devotees, they'll give a really great class, but then you find out that they're doing this, they're doing
Right.
that,
Yeah.
and you can't fool Krishna,
Mm-hmm.
and all you're doing is cheating yourself and cheating those that you're serving,
Right.
because you're just like, if you sat down for a great meal and I cooked this, or I somehow presented this meal that looked good and tasted good, but the whole thing was like a mirage that you're
Mm.
eating. There's no
Right. No.
there's no nourishment in it,
Mm-hmm.
and so to be authentic, we got to make sure we're not shooting with blanks.
Thanks. Yeah.
And that's just an analogy, because I don't think it's just black and white.
Right.
I think it's not a blank or a bullet.
Mm-hmm.
That's black and white.
Right.
But for a devotee, it can be anything in between.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that we get it as pure as we can is by connecting with all humility as much as we can to the real source of the power.
Mm-hmm.
There's a verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's Ballavacharya. He says, Krishna Shakti Vina Nahe Tara Pravartana. That in order to spread, to preach Krishna consciousness, that we can never do it without. The word Vina means without. Krishna Shakti Vina,
Mm.
without being the power of Krishna. Tara Pravartana, we will not be successful. Look what Prabhupada did, how empowered he was.
Right.
We've never seen anything like it. There's nothing in history, even in
Mm-hmm.
our books,
Right.
even in all the literatures and all the great souls we read about, which is why he's called Shakti Vaishavatar.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really empowered. My God, what he accomplished. Unthinkable.
Right.
He left India when he was 69 years old,
Mm-hmm.
turned 70 en route,
Mm-hmm.
and within he came to this foreign land, and it, it seemed it was impossible. How would you start? He didn't have any money, no support, no help, nobody, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then within 11 years, he spread Krishna consciousness all over the world.
Right.
Unthinkable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were temples all over the world at that time. And books, my God, all the books he translated and what he did and ran this movement. It was in such a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
He was authentic. He
Yeah.
was he was the
Right.
real deal.
Yeah.
And he was always giving credit to his guru and his disciples.
Right.
He credited his disciples.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everybody can appreciate someone who's authentic.
Right.
A lot of times you can sort of tell,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems almost ludicrous. Someone is, you know, and I'm not going to say that this is something I've always understood.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's not to say that I wasn't at times overcome by pride and thinking this is coming from me. Um, I can look back over the years, and I mean, I was made a president of a major temple. I was only been around for 3 years.
Right.
So, you can imagine, wow, everybody's bowing down to me. And, I thought I was pretty cool. Um, and fortunately, Krishna and my dear friends helped me work
Mm-hmm.
through that. And it's not to say that that still doesn't probably happen from time to I'd like to think from time to time, maybe a regular basis, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's certainly something that we have to guard
Right.
against,
Right.
and always be aware of. Always taking our temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I really coming from here? Because two of the very Bhaktivinoda Thakur talks about puja and pratishta. Everybody wants to be worshipped. That's why we came to the material world
Mm.
and adored.
Yeah.
And pratishta, living like, on a higher standard than others.
Mm. That's pratishta.
Yeah, my understanding. Yeah, pratishta is you're living on a higher standard than the others. like as a temple president, I had my own room. I had my own, you know, people would serve me. I get the maha plate.
Right.
It's always taken to the temple. I don't know if it's still being done like that, but they would always, the maha plate comes to the temple president.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am, a 3-year devotee. They bring me this big plate.
And you were only like young, like 24,
Yeah,
23, yeah.
I was probably 20, maybe 26-ish.
Mm-hmm. That's young, yeah. I
I
know
was
you.
20. I think it was 26.
There were like 60 devotees, something like that. You had mentioned.
Yeah,
That's a
it
lot,
was
like huge number, yeah.
50, 60. There's a lot of people,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a lot of people.
and
I
a
would.
lot of a lot of people joining back then.
Yeah,
People were joining, and yeah,
yeah,
we had
and being president, like those days, like and how like Krishna consciousness was pretty new to like the uh, Western world, like
oh
and you
yeah,
had right, and like the community, like I didn't know like how they approached, like because back then it was different. I don't like I guess Miami is like kind of diverse, even like back then. I don't know how was it.
we didn't have we didn't draw Latinos.
Mm,
Um, One I could think of, um, Parthasar, Parthas, Parthasarka, Sarti. Um, it's the name of Krishna's, Arjuna's
yep,
chariot driver.
yeah, Parthasarthi.
Parthasarthi,
Yep.
so it's pronounced Parthasarthi. Yeah, his
Sarthi.
Pedro.
Right.
Pedro, he was Cuban. Really
Mm,
nice, super humble, nice guy. He lived outside.
mm.
He had a family that was not supportive of his
Well,
devotional thing. Um, but it was mostly, or almost entirely, um, people from that generation.
right,
Not We didn't really, and I think the Latin element in Florida has changed radically since I was there. I was there from 19, the temple from 73 to 79. I was there for 6 years,
mm,
and I don't recall any big that we were drawing people from the Latin community.
hmm,
Whereas now it's become a lot more prominent.
right. Because there's one Prabhu in Tucson uh, who's living in the temple with Kirtaneshwar Prabhu. I think
Mm,
he. I don't know if he's Cuban or from Puerto Rico, but he lives in the temple too. He's a brahmachari too.
nice.
Ganganath something. But he moved from Miami to Tucson somehow.
Mm. Well, Tucson is a very stable temple.
Right, yeah.
Miami is very, from what I understand, very unstable.
Mm.
And the temple president is a wonderful, wonderful lady.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause when I went to Tucson, the energy was different, like totally electric. Like, Kirtaneshwar Prabhu, Ganganath Prabhu, yeah, Mangalarti is happening. They are like dancing
Yeah,
ecstatically, the kirtans.
it's though I've never been there. My understanding is it's like it was back in the old days.
Mm.
And their temple president is a Prabhupada disciple, and
Right,
very very down to earth,
right.
lovely lovely
Hmm.
lady.
Yeah, Sandamini Mataji.
Sindamini, yeah,
Yeah,
she's
I did. Me, yeah. Sandamini Mataji, Sukeshwar Prabhu was there too. And some,
Sureshwar. Sureshwar.
yeah, Sureshwar, yeah. Sureshwar.
He's a very dear friend of mine.
Yeah, he was there. And some other dude.
Yeah, so that's one of the of course I don't really know. I'm very out of touch
Right.
about the temples here, there, and elsewhere. But like I have one student in um, relatively new student. You've met her, Kaylin,
Mm,
in New Zealand,
right,
and she says the temple there it's some sort of ISKCON temple, but it's all Indians. Everything is in Hindi.
right. Wonder if she's in Auckland or what city. I have I think Indian couples I met in India. They go to Auckland ISKCON too.
I think she's in Auckland.
Mm,
She's in the on the North Island.
right.
But anyway, she's not. It's just it doesn't work for her, the temple.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't have any real direct knowledge. But Tucson is a real special
Hmm.
place under Sundamini's
Right.
guidance.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Authenticity. Like, yeah, if like how you said, like, if like especially as a leader, like, to have that authentic presence uh, among the people that you are leading
I
is
can think of
important.
some people I've seen, and again, I'm sure I've had my moments as well, that you could just tell they're just not that authentic. They're trying to pull it off, but they're not.
Right.
Um, it could just be my critical nature. I don't know, but sometimes I'll see someone that
Yeah.
makes me think, who is this guy?
Right.
Um,
'Cause- yeah.
now, have you ever met Satsvarupa, our
No.
God brother? He's like the personification of humility.
Mm.
He was one of Prabhupada's first disciples.
He wrote the Lilamrit.
Correct. Uh-huh. I mean, he's the most like sincere, authentic. He's a sannyasi
Mm.
when I met him, and I was I was quite a new devotee.
Mm.
And one morning I was up real early chanting my japa, and he was up early chanting his japa.
Mm.
And he came up to me and he said, he's a sannyasi. He came up to me and he said, "How do you keep your mind from wandering while you're chanting?" I mean, he meant it. He was like so sincere. I
Right.
mean, he was so authentic. He
Nice.
wasn't thinking, I'm a sannyasi and this guy's, just got initiated. Um, he was the most authentic person. I think, devotee was just so authentic.
Wow. Is he the one with he had completed a PhD, Gurudev? Satsvarupa Maharaj?
I don't think so. I
Okay.
know that he was a some type of social worker,
Mm.
I believe. I don't ever remember hearing he had a PhD,
Mm.
but he was. If you go on YouTube and just type in Satsarup,
Right.
you can hear him. You hear him speak. He's so uh, just so humble. He was. I really loved his association. When
Mm-hmm.
he came, um, my my job. I was a temple commander. My
Right.
job was to just hang out with him and like be his servant. This was just wonderful. I just got to hang out with him and
Nice.
take him swimming, and
Mm.
he was so he really sticks out in my mind as very authentic.
This was before you were president in Miami Temple?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Same Miami Temple.
Mhm. When our GBC changed, when Avirama left,
Mm-hmm.
and that was after, again, after 3 years of 1976,
Right.
and our GBC was Balavanta. I don't know if you've heard of him,
No, not that
but
one.
very, very nice devotee. He was a very good GBC, and real a humble, nice person. He became an attorney,
Mm.
and then he's been ever since doing. I think he probably has his own private practice as well as helping
Right.
ISKCON.
Mm.
He may have been the first that actually became an attorney.
Mm.
But he went back to school, became an attorney, and
Right.
um, he's done a lot for
Mm-hmm.
ISKCON.
Right.
And he was also very authentic.
Right.
So we want to strive to be authentic and know that our mind
Right.
would like to take it to a higher level.
Right.
And we always have to be guarding against it.
Right.
Because remember, we came to this material world to be somebody special.
Right. Yeah, pratishta, puja.
Puja and pratishta.
Right.
Puja to be adored, worshipped by others.
Mm.
Pratishta is living on a higher and looking a little down because
Right.
you're looking down a little bit at others.
Right.
That's yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, like I mean, there's no scientific experiments done, but some of the experiments done in authenticity, they found authenticity to carry a higher vibration in
Mm,
comparison to other stuff like love, pride, like anything else. Like even I think it said something like 400 times more than love. That authenticity, because authenticity is like more of a pure state of consciousness versus love, which is emotional reaction. Because love is dependent on material love is dependent on a situation. If situation changes, then emotions will change too.
right.
So love was not on that level as authenticity.
But there is, I mean, love is certainly a reflection of, it's like when we dream at night, we can't say the dream isn't real.
Right.
It's a dream. It's not, it's real in one sense and it's not real in another sense. There
Right.
was no tiger.
Right.
Um, you're just alone in your bed and you're dreaming this, that, and the other. Um, what was I going to say? Um, oh, love. So you and I both experienced love, especially love of our mothers, because we
Hmm.
both had really great moms.
Right.
And we can't say that that's not real.
Hmm.
It's not prema.
Right. Yeah.
It's not Krishna prema, but it's sure sweet.
Hmm.
And it's just a reflection. But just like, for example, if if an artist draws a beautiful picture of Vrindavan
Hmm.
as described in the Bhagavatam, um, it isn't Vrindavan, really, but it's a very beautiful picture.
Right.
It's really beautiful. And to some degree, and of course, that's not a perfect explanation because to some degree it can take you into Vrindavan.
True. True.
So let's just take a mundane picture. Let's say a picture of Hawaii.
Right.
If it could be a very beautiful picture,
Hmm.
but it's just a picture. You can't. feel the breezes, and you can't smell the flowers, and you can't go out and play in the
Yeah.
ocean. And so, but we can't say it isn't a beautiful picture. It's a wonderful experience looking at that picture.
Right.
I remember when I was a child, we used to go to this restaurant. It was a German restaurant, but it was full of paintings.
Mm.
And while we were waiting, whenever we would sit down and order, I would order first, and I was just to walk around and look at these amazing paintings.
Mm.
They take you to another world. Even though
Right.
I'm still in this restaurant,
Right.
I'm looking at these amazing paintings. I really, whoa, this is so
Mm.
cool. Like each one will take you to a different
Right.
place. Some more than others, but some are like, whoa, like a picture of fall or a winter scene. It could be so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The snow and maybe a fox walking.
Right.
It's just a picture.
Right.
So love, I've experienced that. I've experienced it with my mother. I've had dogs. I've clearly some devotees we know they'll jump all over me for this. What do
Right.
you mean your dog? You can't really love a dog. But I've had dogs that I've loved,
Mm-hmm.
like a brother,
Right.
I've loved, and friends.
Mm-hmm.
And now my disciples, it's like it's whoa, it's really sweet.
Yo.
And it helps me when you pose a question about authenticity. Is why I'm always saying my disciples help me so much. You ask that question, it makes I kind of figured that it was just going to be you and I today, and
Right.
that was the question, and it got me thinking about authenticity and how it applies to me. How authentic am I?
Right.
I try, but I know the mind is very clever.
Right.
The mind is very crafty. It can throw you off,
Right.
and I can feel when I'm not authentic sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
where I have to deal with it.
Like you said, like earlier, like how we can be inauthentic and not know it, but
Correct.
like now how you were saying it, like I can know it, like that I'm being inauthentic, like that process, that shift in the thinking, or like the mind being aware of, oh, like oh, now I see that the inauthenticity, is like
Yeah,
to catch it, like when it's trying to rise or something.
and we can pray to Krishna to help us, Krishna and Guru to help us to
Right.
see my. Because nobody likes. Well, sycophants. That's another story. Like Trump, some people they know he's not real,
Right.
but they don't care because they're getting to share in some power,
True.
and they get intoxicated. So they will flatter him.
Right.
You know the word sycophant?
No. How you
Um,
spell it?
I'm not a good speller. Hey Siri, how do you spell sycophant?
Oh, okay.
Sycophant.
I see it.
Huh? See if you can translate it into your language.
Oh,
It means
self.
it
Okay.
means like an insincere flatterer. You're
Right. Okay.
flattering, but it's
Right.
very
Yes.
insincere.
Self-seeking flatterer who acts overly eager to please powerful people to gain personal advantage. Often
So
nicknamed a suck up or boot liquor.
yeah,
Yes, man.
so yeah, so Trump is surrounded by them.
Right.
Yes, oh yeah, because they're getting something out of it,
Right.
but they're sycophants,
Mm.
and yeah,
Yeah, and like, and for us to like we were attracted to you because your authenticity, and when we get to spend that personal time with you, you can really feel. I really felt that vibration, like that. Like I said, in the form of like, oh, your determination, your sharp, dedication in bhakti. Like you can feel that, and like when you share your realizations too, you feel it, and yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, the world would be meaningless without bhakti,
right.
without purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have no meaning at all,
Mm-hmm.
nothing except serving the senses that are
Right.
never satisfied. You can't set they'll never be satisfied.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing how that servant position, like it remains. Like if you're not servant of Krishna, then you become servant of your senses or your
Right.
family or your country. So, somehow you still remain.
You can't stop it. We're
Right.
servants.
Mm-hmm.
That's our nature.
Right.
Yeah, we are. That's our nature. Yeah.
Yeah, because I read this book long time ago. It was about a Navy SEAL, uh, and he did Navy SEAL, a lot of deployments to different countries, and he spent some time in politics. Everything he did, everything, and he came to a conclusion that service, is the highest. He had no devotional background, but he
Mm.
came to that conclusion that serving is the highest. Like but yeah, in his terms, it's yeah, serve the community, family, all that. Um, but yeah.
Women, especially mothers,
Hmm.
that comes natural to serve the child. They're
Right.
like a slave to the child.
Hmm.
From morning till night, all they can think about is a child.
Right.
Us men, it's hard to think like that.
Hmm.
It's just
Yeah.
part of a woman's nature. I see it all the time. Some women more than, much more than others, but
Right.
it's, you and I have certainly seen it in our mothers.
Hmm.
That's just their whole life is their children.
Right.
And, and that's a perverted reflection of how we will feel in the spiritual world a zillion times more our attachment to serving Krishna,
Right.
because that is our happiness.
Hmm.
We're already satisfied. We're already completely satisfied.
Right.
We don't have to do anything.
Hmm.
Atmaram. The soul is by nature completely satisfied.
Right.
Like say the four Kumaras before they met the Lord and became devotees.
Right.
They were completely satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
Sukadeva Goswami in the womb had the Brahman realization.
Right.
He kept satisfied. You stay in the womb. Why go anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
So, but that tendency to want to serve is there.
Right.
And somehow the pleasure then it increases even more, which is something we're not really capable of understanding.
Right.
And we'll never probably even think on that subject in the
Mm-hmm.
spiritual world. Your mother
Mm-hmm.
isn't thinking that by serving my children, I'm happy. It's just their nature to serve us.
Right.
She's not thinking, oh, this is making me happy that I'm cleaning up or
Mm-hmm.
picking up after my baby and this, that,
Right.
all the stuff they got to go through. It's
Right.
raising a child.
Mm-hmm.
And who could bring a child in the world in this day and age?
Right. Yeah, it's getting out of control.
Really out of control. Yeah. Don't get married. Don't have kids. One kid, it's like your whole life then locks into.
True. Right.
And the expense,
Mm-hmm.
huge, huge expenses. They're cheap to make one.
Right.
One one night in the sleeping bag. But my God, the cost and the heartaches and the anxiety, and it's unlimited. And that's
Yeah.
why they call it undekupum.
And you keep paying for it. You keep working hard and pay all the hard earned money for getting more anxiety. You pay for your anxiety.
Right? You're just in this well,
Right.
and it just zaps.
Mm-hmm.
It just zaps everything from you. Having to raise a child. You just become like a dog. You just got to go out and work, serve, go out and
Mm-hmm.
become like anyway. Yes, keep your brahmachari status.
Right.
Yeah, don't keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Child in this age, oh my God, are you setting yourself up for
Right. Yeah. Bombardment of stress.
and then a lot of kids are born with, with defects,
Right.
mental defects, physical defects. Oh God. Just do your bhakti,
Right.
you know, look out for your mom,
Mm-hmm.
do whatever you can for your brother, but just stay on this simple path
Right.
and just go back to Krishna at the end of this life. You'll make it a much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Not so many distractions will keep you right on focus.
True. True. That's so true. Yeah. Keeping it simple.
Otherwise, the kid, daddy, that, daddy, that, and then they turn out to be a brat. And I've seen so many. My friends have kids, and
Mm.
they don't. They raised them with all their heart and soul to be devotees, but they're just not that. They may be vegetarian, or
Mm-hmm.
but they're not 16 rounders that. And some they just reject it altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, why don't
Yeah.
complicate your life?
Right.
Keep it simple. I feel very blessed that I didn't have children in this life.
Mm-hmm.
Because during my childbearing years, I was
Yeah,
wearing
you're
saffron. I was wearing saffron.
right.
Everybody's having babies. I was wearing saffron.
Mm-hmm. What year was it when you sailed from Washington to Hawaii?
80.
80, okay. So, cause
That's
you
a long
you
time ago.
right. Cause you went to Washington just to get uh, the boat, or you were in Washington for
I
some
went
other
there.
business?
I went several times
Okay.
to meet the person and stayed with
From
him. Did
from
you read
my
the article? Did you read the article?
I did read it one time, I think, because it took you like 18 days to for
18
the
days. Yeah, 18 days
yeah.
exactly. 18 days from, it took longer than that.
Mm,
We left um, the San Juan Islands, and it took us several days to get down to Sausalito.
yeah,
That's someplace
exactly.
near San Francisco.
Again. Mm-hmm.
And we went into San Francisco Bay
Right.
under the bridge. And we worked on the boat there for, gosh, a week, 10 days
Mm,
to make sure it was getting ready for the crossing.
right.
Then, when we left, is when I started counting the days for what I call the passage across.
Mm,
So it was 18 days from when we left Sausalito until we landed in Maui
mm,
in Hana Bay. That was
mm,
18 days.
mm,
Then it was several days back to Honolulu.
mm. And that was your first visit to Hawaii, or no?
No, no. I I came to Hawaii in '79, so I'd been here for
Or-
like a year.
Right after Miami, you went to Hawaii.
Yeah,
Yeah.
went
Okay.
in
Yeah.
'79.
Right.
And then one of the things I wanted to do was have a boat. It seemed like we're in this island chain. Why not have a boat where
Yeah.
we can go from island to island and put on festivals, which we did.
Right.
That was amazing.
Right.
I mean, we packed the boat. I lost track when the biggest one we did. We were in Kona, and we pulled up. We put these flyers up, and there was another boat, commercial boat, that was also anchored there, and it was called Captain Bean,
Mm,
and they took people on tours. So it was a
mm,
bigger boat,
right.
and so when we went in to pick people up for the time, um, I swear there's a lot of people that were there for us, and I assumed a lot that were waiting for Captain Bean. But they all got
Mhm.
on our boat,
Oh.
and apparently they weren't there for Captain Bean.
Oh
They had
wow.
all. It was way more than. And the boat, I think, was certified for like up to 40 people or something. But
Hmm.
I think we had like, I lost track. It was definitely getting up around 70. I think
Wow.
it was way overloaded.
Yeah.
And but anyway, I didn't have the courage or the discipline to say, all right, no more can come on.
Right.
Thankfully, Krishna protected us because
Right.
we went, I think, 11 miles down to, we sailed down to Kealakekua
Mm,
Bay, anchored there, and that's where we had served out a huge feast and
mm.
had kirtan,
Oh
and people
wow.
went swimming. And,
Okay.
it was a lot of fun.
Were you able to keep the boat for pretty long, or that same boat from Washington?
Well, in 86, when things were getting so strange in this kind, I decided I'm stepping aside.
Mm-hmm.
And the temple owned the boat. It was
Okay.
donated to the temple
Right.
for a tax write-off.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but there's nobody there qualified to sail that boat.
Right.
So I bought it from them.
Mm.
And because I didn't know where I was going to live. I didn't have any money. And I think I got welfare. I got on welfare or something. I had, a few bucks.
Right.
And I figured, well, with this boat, I could live on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'll try to do some chartering. And then, so I kind of went into the chartering business.
Right.
That's when I got my captain's license.
Right.
I had to study like crazy for that.
Mm.
And then, yeah, I had a lot of fun doing that. That was
Right.
fun. And then one of the things I did on the boat for charters was weddings.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started doing weddings on land, and that exploded.
Right.
So, long story short, my mother was becoming ill. I borrowed the money from my family to buy the boat,
Right.
and I wasn't able to pay them back.
Mm-hmm.
I could pay my bills, but I wasn't able.
Right.
I had enough to live. I was making
Right.
enough to live, but not enough to pay.
Payback.
My mom, my family would have let it slide, but my mother got ill. My sister said, "Look, you gotta
Right.
pay us back. You're not making your payments."
Right.
So I sold it in an auction.
Mm.
But then at that auction, you probably heard me tell the story. At that auction, when I sold the boat, the guy came up to me after the auction that bought it and said, "Hey, Captain Howie,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to sail. Why don't you be my partner and you can."
Right.
He was a psychiatrist. He already had his work. He said,
Wow.
just keep using it for chartering, and I'll come out and work with you, help you."
Oh, cool.
So I got to continue having the boat
Awesome.
for a couple years. Then anyway, he was ended up not being. He was a really nice guy, but not very responsible. He
Mm.
wasn't paying the fees to keep the boat in the harbor, so the state confiscated it from
Oh
him.
no.
But that was fine because I was getting too busy with my wedding business was
Right.
starting to
Yeah.
take over. I didn't really have time for the boat anyway.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's cool.
So we're past our time. I'm going to go out for a kayak ride right now because the weather's just perfect and it may change any minute.
Right.
So I'm going to put on my bathing suit
Yeah.
and go out for a kayak ride. I haven't been able to go out for a bunch of days, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just perfect. I wish you were here. I'd take you out with me.
Right.
All right, Prabhuji. It's
Yeah. Thank
great,
you. Thank you for
great being
the.
with you. And send me those dates,
Yes. Yeah. I will.
and we'll take it from there.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Gurudev.
By the way, let me stop the recording.